Most people are pretty familiar with prenuptial agreements. A prenuptial agreement is an agreement you enter into with your prospective spouse before marriage, and it's an agreement which dictates how the community property is going to be divided in the event of divorce, whether you're going to have to pay spousal maintenance or alimony, and a number of other issues that relate to property. What is important to know about prenuptial agreements is that you cannot make child custody decisions or child custody issues subject to a prenuptial agreement. Prenuptial agreements can only deal with property and how it's going to be disposed of in the event of divorce. It's important that you have representation in connection with a prenuptial agreement because the law presumes that if you sign a document, you understand what it means and you are obligated to comply with the obligations of that document. I have had clients approach me after signing a prenuptial agreement and they're in the midst of a divorce and they want to try to get the agreement invalidated. That is very difficult to do under Texas law because most courts strive to enforce contracts, and a prenuptial agreement is a contract. Unless you can establish that you did not enter into the agreement voluntarily or that the agreement is unconscionable under Texas law, which is very rare, the court is going to enforce your prenuptial agreement. You can also enter into what's called a postnuptial agreement, which is an agreement that you enter into after you get married. And those agreements can also include provisions relating to how community property is going to be disposed of during divorce. Or you can transfer what would otherwise be separate property into the other spouse's name and make it community property. Parties in Texas have broad freedom of contract, so you can be creative as you want to be in crafting these agreements. But again, you cannot make child support or child custody issues subject to either a premarital agreement or a postnuptial agreement.